How does Shedeur Sanders make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games in the National Football League? Answer that.
You tell me.
How does a guy make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games or 6 games as a starter? Oh, I know how. It's ticket sales. It's ticket sales.
Players, you guys were competing.
Yeah, post Pro Bowl, greatest fans we met.
Oh yeah.
Can
I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him. And he hasn't played enough and haven't given him enough chances to be on the football field. And when he's on the football field, they feel better.
Do y'all have the guy? Is Shedeur the guy?
That's what we're looking at as a guy. We're going to give him a shot to prove that he's a guy. So we're not going to give anyone that title until they go out there and earn it. And he was the last person to be on the field, and he showed some flashes. So we're going to give him an opportunity to show what we can really do, uncork the ball.
What has Shedeur done that convinces you that he should be?
The team believes differently.
You can tell while you're watching.
His energy is different. His swag is different. His level of confidence is different. And notice I said confidence. I didn't say nothing about arrogance. His level of confidence is different. And so he believes that he has the ability to do it. He's not walking out there thinking that, can I do it? Or do I have the possibility to do it? No, I'm going to make it happen. That's the way he's approaching it. And I appreciate it. And I've known Shedeur since he was a kid.
The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has been a complete disaster for years. We're talking about a franchise that's burned through more quarterbacks than most teams go through offensive coordinators. It's been embarrassing, it's been frustrating, and for Browns fans, it's been straight up painful to watch. But something changed this past season. Something clicked when Shedeur Sanders took the field in Cleveland. And now, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history just went off defending him. Emmitt Smith didn't just casually bring up Shedeur Sanders. He didn't give some safe, middle-of-the-road take that you'd expect from a former player trying to stay neutral. No, the all-time leading rusher in NFL history absolutely went to war for anyone questioning whether Shedeur Sanders should be the Browns' starting quarterback in 2026. Let's break down why this matters, and why Emmitt's passionate defense of Shedeur might be the biggest endorsement the young quarterback has gotten. Cleveland has been hunting for their franchise quarterback since they came back to the NFL in 1999. That's over 2 decades of mediocrity, false hope, and crushed dreams. They thought Baker Mayfield was the guy. He wasn't. They bet the farm on Deshaun Watson, handing him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract. That's turned into one of the worst decisions in NFL history. Watson has barely been on the field. When he has played, he's looked nothing like his former self. The Browns are stuck with his $46 million cap hit for 1 more year, and there's no escape. It's financial quicksand. So when Shedeur Sanders showed up in Cleveland and actually looked like a legit NFL quarterback, people started paying attention. The problem? The usual critics came out with their tired narratives. He's just Deion's son. He's only famous because of social media. He hasn't proven anything. It's all hype. That's when Emmitt Smith stepped in and said enough is enough. During his appearance on Media Row, Emmitt didn't pull any punches. When asked about Shedeur's situation in Cleveland, the Hall of Famer went on what can only be described as a masterclass in why Shedeur Sanders deserves to be the Browns' starting quarterback.
The team believes differently.
You can tell while you're watching.
His energy is different. His swag is different. His level of confidence is different. And notice I said confidence. I didn't say nothing about arrogance. His level of confidence is different. And so he believes that he has the ability to do it. He's not walking out there thinking that, can I do it? Or do I have the possibility to do it? No, I'm going to make it happen.
This is huge because Emmitt isn't just talking about stats or physical tools. He's talking about leadership. He's talking about that intangible quality that separates franchise quarterbacks from career backups. That presence, that confidence, that ability to make everyone around you better just by walking into the huddle. And Emmitt knows what championship leadership looks like. He won 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. He played alongside Troy Aikman, one of the most poised quarterbacks in NFL history. Emmitt understands what it takes to lead at the highest level, and he sees that same quality in Shedeur Sanders. But here's where it gets really interesting. Emmitt went even deeper into why Shedeur's background makes him uniquely built to handle the pressure of being Cleveland's starting quarterback.
And I watch him grow. I know his training, I know his background, and I know where he comes from. He comes from a line of championships. That's the way I would look at it. And years of experience at that position. He was trained that way. And he grew up with understanding how to play the quarterback position from a guy that played in the National Football League.
This is what everyone keeps missing. Shedeur Sanders didn't just start playing football in college. He's been preparing for this moment his entire life. While other kids were playing Madden, Shedeur was getting coached by Deion Sanders, learning NFL-level concepts, understanding defensive coverages, developing that mental processing speed that elite quarterbacks need. People want to hold his father against him, like it's somehow a negative that he had access to world-class coaching from day one. That's ridiculous. That's like being criticized for being too prepared. In what world is that a bad thing? Emmitt makes it crystal clear. Shedeur's pedigree isn't a weakness, it's his greatest strength. And then Emmitt delivered the knockout blow to all the doubters when he was asked straight up if he would name Shedeur the starter.
I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him. And he hasn't played enough and haven't given him enough chances.
Short, direct, no wiggle room, no hedging. No, well, we need to see more, or it depends on the situation. Just a straight-up endorsement from a football legend who knows what excellence looks like. But wait, there's more, because Emmitt didn't just defend Shedeur's talent, he also called out the ridiculousness of critics trying to use the Pro Bowl selection against him. Someone brought up how Shedeur made the Pro Bowl with limited playing time, trying to spin it as a popularity contest rather than merit-based recognition. Emmitt completely flipped the script.
It's ticket sales. It's ticket sales. It's merchandising. That's how they do it. Oh, my bad.
You watched the Pro Bowl on your Tableau.
Was Emmitt being sarcastic? Maybe. But here's the thing. Even if popularity played a role, so what? You know who else sells tickets? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. The best quarterbacks in the league are also the most popular. That's not a coincidence. Fans gravitate towards excellence and entertainment, and Shedeur delivers both. The fact that Shedeur can generate that kind of fan energy while also performing on the field is exactly what Cleveland needs. The Browns haven't had a quarterback who excited the fan base in years. They've had serviceable game managers and expensive disasters. That's it. Now let's talk about what Myles Garrett said, because this is where things get really interesting.
Do y'all have the guy? Is Shedeur the guy?
That's what we're looking at as a guy. We're going to give him a shot to prove that he's a guy. So we're not going to give anyone that title until they go out there and earn it. And he was the last person to be on the field, and he showed some flashes. So we're going to give him an opportunity to show what we can really do, uncork the ball.
Garrett didn't say they need to draft someone. He didn't say they're bringing in a veteran. He said they're giving Shedeur an opportunity. That's significant because Myles Garrett doesn't waste words. He's one of the most dominant defensive players in football, and he's seen enough quarterbacks come through Cleveland to know what works and what doesn't. If he's backing Shedeur to lead this team, that tells you everything you need to know about what's happening in that locker room. The ESPN analysts on the panel picked up on this too. They had a whole discussion about what Cleveland should do at quarterback, and the consensus was clear. One analyst broke it down perfectly, acknowledging the messy reality Cleveland faces.
And I think that's the challenge. You look at what's in Cleveland, and people will say, well, why don't they trade, for an example, like Kyler Murray? You just mentioned Deshaun Watson's contract. Right. So, going to get another guy that was a starter on another team and adding that contract to the quarterback room.
That's the nightmare scenario Cleveland is trying to avoid. They're already drowning in Watson's contract. They can't afford to make that mistake worse by bringing in another expensive veteran who might not even be the answer. The smart play is to develop the talent they already have, and that talent is Shedeur Sanders. Another analyst made the case even stronger when discussing how Shedeur should approach the offseason.
Makes the most sense, and I would assume when you start the offseason program, day one, Shedeur Sanders would be the guy that takes reps as the starting quarterback. Does that mean a lot when you have months to go and preparing for the upcoming season? Probably not, but I think he's earned the right that the job should start out as his.
Earned the right. Those are the key words. This isn't about handing Shedeur Sanders anything because of his name or his father. This is about recognizing what he's done on the field. He earned his way from being 4th or 5th on the depth chart with 0 reps in OTAs to being in position to be the Week 1 starter. That's not luck, that's not hype, that's performance. The analysts also pointed out something crucial. Cleveland has bigger problems than just quarterback. Their offensive line needs work. Their defense has questions with the coaching change under Jim Schwartz. This is a team that needs a full rebuild, and you don't rebuild by constantly cycling through quarterbacks.
Yeah, they've probably time to take a step back and
slow the thing down,
and rebuild.
Slow it down a little bit.
Maybe accept some losing for a short period of time.
That's the hard truth Browns fans don't want to hear, but it's reality. This team isn't one player away from contending. They need to commit to a direction and stick with it. And that direction should be Shedeur Sanders as the franchise quarterback moving forward. But here's where the Browns situation gets messy. They're still stuck with Deshaun Watson's contract. They can't just cut him without massive financial consequences. So they're looking at a quarterback room with Watson, Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and potentially a draft pick if they decide to go that route. That's a mess, but it's a mess that Shedeur created through his own play. He forced his way into this conversation by performing when given the chance. The Browns didn't plan on him being a real option this quickly. He made it impossible to ignore him. Emmitt Smith sees this situation clearly. He understands that Cleveland is at a crossroads. They can either commit to the young quarterback who's shown real promise and has the mental makeup to succeed, or they can continue the cycle of mediocrity by hedging their bets and running some chaotic three-way quarterback competition. The smart move is obvious. Name Shedeur the starter. Build around him. Give him the weapons and the offensive line support he needs to succeed. Stop overthinking it. But this is Cleveland we're talking about. They've been overthinking the quarterback position for 25 years. Old habits die hard. What makes Emmitt's endorsement so powerful is that it's not coming from someone with a stake in Shedeur's success. Emmitt doesn't work for the Browns. He's not Shedeur's agent. He's just a Hall of Fame player who's watched enough football to recognize when someone has the tools to be special. The Browns need to stop being afraid of making a decision and commit to their future. Shedeur Sanders has earned the right to be their starting quarterback. Emmitt Smith knows it, Myles Garrett seems to know it, the national analysts covering the team know it. The question is whether the Browns front office and coaching staff have the guts to embrace it. Because here's the reality, Cleveland is running out of time. They've wasted a decade and a half searching for a quarterback. They burned through draft picks, free agents, and absurd contracts. They've let down one of the most loyal fan bases in professional sports year after year after year. Shedeur Sanders represents hope. He represents a different path forward. And when a legend like Emmitt Smith goes out of his way to defend him and advocate for him, that should tell you everything you need to know. This isn't about hype. This isn't about social media followers or famous last names. This is about recognizing talent, character, and preparation when you see it. Emmitt Smith sees it, Myles Garrett sees it, the analysts breaking down the tape see it. Do the Browns. The clock is ticking. The offseason is here. Decisions need to be made. And if the Browns fumble this opportunity, if they let Shedeur Sanders slip through their fingers because they're too busy trying to justify the Deshaun Watson disaster or chasing some mythical sure thing in the draft, they'll regret it for the next decade. Emmitt Smith just laid out the blueprint for success. The national media just confirmed what everyone watching knows to be true. Now it's time for the Browns to follow through. Because champions recognize champions, and Emmitt Smith sees a champion in Shedeur Sanders. The only question is, does Cleveland?